Fix right here. Welcome back to our weekly market forecast. So this is our usual weekly market forecast for the week of the 24th to the 28th of November, which is also the fourth trading week or the last trading week for the month of November. So we are almost getting to the end of 2025, as you guys can see, and I believe if you have been trading alongside us and following our weekly market forecast weekly, you should be making good money for yourself and also following our trading strategy and our learnings. Okay, so this is what we usually do. We come on here every week to anticipate 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. Okay, so if you are a new or existing subscriber and you're yet to subscribe, our statistics shows us that 70 to 80% of you are yet to subscribe. So please do what, just smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so that you can always be notified when we drop videos like this. Okay, so without further ado, not taking much of your time this week, guys, so we are gonna get started with BTC as usual. Okay, so for BTC for last week, okay, BTC has been awesome for us for the past few weeks. Okay, we have been predicting 500 to 1,000 pips into the future on BTC. All the way I've been calling the sales of BTC from 1015, okay, from 1015 115k all the way to 80k, okay, which I've been preaching about this, calling it here live even before it happened. And if you look within here, you'll be seeing the sales in which we have been taking over time. Okay, so this is what we do, and a lot of people also use this to also help their trading decisions and make money with our signals and the free stops in which we do here. Okay, so in the case of BTC, let's check how the weekly time frame actually closed for last week. Okay, so you can see BTC, I've been projecting BTC to 80k, and I was even looking at BTC to go all the way to the support, which is like 75k, which BTC could still go. But just like we know how price actually moves, price moves in form of a wave, so we could most likely have a pullback back to the 99, between the 98 to 99k, or between the 98 to 100k pullback, like a buy. Okay, like more like a buy to sell scenarios, okay, for BTC. Okay, but let's go to the hourly time frame to see how well we can do this. Okay, so now we can see we are already seeing that pullback already happen here. Okay, it's coming, it's building up the pullbacks, so we are expecting more pullbacks. Okay, more like a bullish pullback back to the zones of the 92k. okay, it could go to 92k, or it could go as deep as the 95k. So between the 95k and the 91k levels, which are the zones, okay, we could have price getting to those zones before, like a buy to sell scenarios. Okay, then we target our first level, which is always 100% retracement level, which is the 80k. Then we can go as deep as our 75k. okay, so we are targeting either price to pull back into the 91-92k, or price could go as deep as the 95-96k before we could go all the way to the downsides. Okay, so that's it for BTC, and up next is gold. Buy to sell scenarios. Okay, if price wishes to continue bearish, you should have price has already gone to this area, a little bit pullback, or price started moving from the 411 zones, okay, ounce, all the way to the 3896 ounce, okay, for the bearishness. And if this is a little bit conservative, and to be super more conservative, you can wait for price to clear these zones of the 4,000 ounce, okay, a pullback, which is more like a retest, and price to continue to the 3884 ounce. Okay, that's it for the welcome back. So you can see how we predicted gold into precision for last week, though much did not really happen. But between these zones, okay, between these zones here on gold has been more like ranging, okay, between the 4132 and 4,000 ounce, okay, between the 4132 and the 4,000 ounce, which is this range here. Okay, so we can see price has been going sideways. So for last week we were looking for more like a buy to sell scenario, so we aren't really changing that bias. Okay, just unfortunate that price was yet to alter any of these strong areas of interest. Okay, so I'm still very much more bearish than bullish on USD, which is gold. So for the coming weeks I will still be looking forward to the downside of things. Okay, reasons being because of the DXY, which I'm also going to show you guys why when we are analyzing the DXY, for you guys to see why we are looking at gold bearish reversals. Okay, so we can see price is bouncing off the 4,000 ounce, these areas looking left. Okay, so I feel we are seeing our price would most likely trying to build up momentum. Okay, sellers may build up more momentum to carry price all the way to the downside. So what we are having here would be a buy to sell scenarios. First level target 100% retracement level, which is a 3889 ounce, and we can go as deep as a 3758 ounce. Okay, so price would give us buy to sell scenarios to the downside, or if you wish to enter conservatively or add positions, okay, you can wait for price to break the 4,000 ounce, retest that area again, then sell all the way to our first level, which is the 3886. okay, then we can go as deep as our 3755. Hopefully I don't miss this trade. Okay, hopefully I don't miss this gold trade. I think I'll be very interested in trading gold the coming weeks. Okay, even from how price currently seated right now, I could even take my sells, put my stops maybe above these highs of the 4133, then target my first level, which is like a very nice one, is the 3 right about there, which is the 3885. then we can go as low as the 3750. okay, so you can even take your sells from here and put your stops around these zones, okay, and hold it for the longest of time. So I'm very interested in trading gold for the coming weeks, so this would be part of my A setups for the coming weeks. Okay, up next is the DXY.
This side of things opposite. Okay, so you have to wait for price to create a new higher high, a retest, and then you can be comfortable to know that price is ready to continue on its bullishness. So we go for first level target, which is a $99 or 99 points, then we can go as high as 100 points all the way to the upside. So this is the bullish.
Okay, so for the DXY for last week, you guys can see how we predicted DXY into precision price. Just like I told you guys that we may have a lead that I am yet to write off DXY buys. Okay, that we could see price continue buying all the way from here, which that clearly happened. Okay, and when price was somewhere around here when market closed, I said we could have a little tug of war, which is a range. You can see we had like a 16-hour range, the price range in these zones for a while before we later had that bullish continuations between the days of Tuesday 25th, okay, or Tuesday 18th rather. So we had that nice trade there. Price went all the way to our next zone. So this is what we say, we trade from zones to zones, and these were also part of the reasons in which we were able to take those nice sniper entries trade profit, in which we made on Euro USD GDP and the rest. Okay, so if this continues this way, which I'm actually looking at that to continue, then that means we should be looking forward for the opposite to happen on EU, GU, and several other pairs. Okay, and even gold inclusively. Okay, so let's see how the weekly time frame actually close, because it's always important that you check how the previous week actually closed to have a decisive decision towards the directional bias that you're going for the new week. So we can see last week closed this massive bullish engulfing candle. I told you guys that we may have price pull back into these zones before it continues all the way up here. So we could have, or we are most likely going to have more bullish continuations to other levels, which is first level, 100 the 100 point or $100, 101, and we'll be going to 102 all the way to the upsides. Okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour time frame to see the best levels in which we can take this trade from. Okay, so I'm going to mark out a new zone. All right, I'm going to mark out new zones like so. So what are we going to look for here? Or what I would love to see is more like price to push into these zones, okay, like a sell to buy scenarios. Okay, then we will be targeting 100% retracement level, which would be here, which is the $99 or the 99 point. Then we'll be going as high as 100 point or $100 all the way to the upsides. Okay, so more like buy, sell to buy scenarios to the upsides. Or on the other hand, we could also have price start buying from here massively. Okay, maybe a little range here, price will just give us a massive push to the upsides. Remember, the US economy is back after a long shutdown for some months. Okay, so we even had NFP during Thursday last week. So last week was a very great week that we were able to make some good money for ourselves. So you may have price just start buying from here all the way to $100 or 100 points to the upside. So that's it on the DXY. Up next is Euro USD.
Okay, so that is Friday candle close. Okay, so with that doji, very nice doji candle, so that could be a good cause for concern for us that price may continue bearish. Why is this so? If that price continues bearish, then we should be seeing DXY being bullish. Okay, so these are also the extra confirmations in which I use for my trade call. So what does this mean? I'm going to give you guys bearish scenarios. Okay, I'm not still writing off, so we could see price, we may see price close with a bearish engulfing candle, maybe a daily time frame bearish engulfing candle, or a hourly time frame, which is a 4-hour bearish engulfing candle. Then I can now take my sales all the way to the downside. So all what I would love to see is like a 4-hour bearish engulfing candle, my stop loss above that high, then we target 100% retracement level. Okay, let me put a line there. 100% retracement level, a nice one is to 2 plus, then we can go as low as the 1.138. okay, all the way to the downside. So, and if you also check how many pips this would be, okay, this is over close to 300 pips. Okay, 288 pips drop for next week. So
okay,
that's
so for Euro USD we had no sales continuations. For Euro USD it was no gimmicks. Okay, very nice easy trade for us, in which we took last week, which I think I could add somewhere around in this video for you guys to see. And we made a lot of money from this trade. Signals were also being shared all for free on our free Telegram community, so that's why it's very important to join our free Telegram community so that you can also benefit from the free forex educational content or signals like this. Okay, you know I love making you guys dated December money. Okay, so I said since September, October, November now, okay, and December I don't charge for any service or signals, most especially. Okay, but so you can also join our free Telegram community and be taking our signals, and we are on a very high win rate. Okay, our win rate is almost 80% win rate so far. Okay, we have been closing every week on a winning streak since the month of October. Okay, we have been closing with a winning streak every blessed week. Okay, if we have a loss, it could be just 1 or 2 losses, but the next further trades that we may take that same week would be winners. Okay, we'll be closing them in wins. So these are still part of those kind of trades that we took last week and we're able to make money, and a lot of people were able to also use the signals to make money. A very nice one is to 3, you have nice sniper entry, nice sniper exit and all. Okay, so let's look at how the weekly time frame actually closed for last week. So guys, remember for the longest of time I've been speaking about this divergence. Okay, I've been speaking about this divergence here, so we can now see maybe price is now confirming that neckline of this divergence. Okay, so you can see that pullback, that retest. So where do you think price is headed? Price is headed all the way back to these zones or this moving average here. Okay, so we could have price drive all the way to 1.13632 to the downsides. Okay, so it's a very long sales for us. Remember, some weeks ago or during October, I was swinging GBP USD for I think like for 4 weeks before I had to close it during these little pullbacks. So any trade that you would be taking in the coming weeks, please, you are most likely going to hold that trade for the longest. Okay, remember when I told you guys that these zones are very strong zones. Okay, these zones here are very strong zones, so anything could happen. Whichever trade directional bias you can take, you will be most likely making nothing less than 300 to 500 pips on a single move. Okay, Euro USD for the coming weeks. Okay, let's see if we can find new levels. Okay, let's see if we can find new levels. It's quite difficult to find levels right now. All right, but let's see if we can make something out of this. Okay, so we already have a zone here in which price has broken, pullback, and we'll be looking for more sales. 100% retracement level, which is 1.146. Then we could go as deep as 1.141 to the downside. Okay, so like I've been saying, I'll be giving you guys only bearish side of things for now. We could even have price, if this zone fails, we could have price go slightly deeper into this other zone of the 1.1572. okay, before we could have our bearish continuations to the downsides. Okay, so do well to mark these zones on your phone or your trading device. Up next is GBP USD.
XY has been on a very nice bearish trend. Okay, creating series of lower lows, lower highs, a lower low. So what do you think is going to happen? For 2 weeks now, price has been creating a new lower high, so price could start selling from there again, creating a new lower low, so like so. Okay, so this is just simple analogy on how price actually moves. Okay, so these are our two levels for interest to see price will sell from this area or more bullishness to this area before we can have price sells from either of the zones. Okay, so all what we need to see into context is price to maybe a little bit range on this 1.3188 zone, and then we see price drop to 100% retracement level, which is a 1.300. Then we can even go as deep as 600 pips down, which is 1.271 to the downside. That's much. Take it one zone after the other. Okay,
so GBP USD for last week was also part of the winning streak or winning trades that we had. We had these very nice sales, although we had some little struggles during, I think, one day. So price was ranging between or within that zone. You can see for, I think, like we had to hold that trade for like 3 days before we had to smash take profit around either Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday. Okay, we took the trade on Monday, and we're holding through all those ranges before we let us smashed take profit. So this is why it's also important that you should trust your analysis, trust your trade, and also manage your risks properly. Okay, because if I was over leveraging, I would have most likely be blown out before I make the actual money. Okay, so you can see this was a nice 1:3. Price went all the way to the downsides, and we were able to make some good money for ourselves. So let's check the weekly time frame to see how price would do. So remember, like I told you guys, that price would most likely give us a buy to sell scenarios, okay, from these zones. Okay, this yellow box here, I spoke about it last week, which I also added it in a video. Okay, so price would most likely bounce off this area then before we have that proper continuations to these zones, which is the 1.271 to the downsides. Okay, so whatever sells that you'll be taking, hold them tight, hold them quite tight, because we'll be having some more drops to the downside. So let's check the 4-hour time frame to see if we can mark out minor zones. Okay, so price is still technically very much in a range right now. What we have now looks like more like a range, but I'm going to mark out some new zones like so. Okay, so I'm going to mark out some new zones like so. So all what we need is price pull back into the zone which it has, sell to the downside. Okay, I'm going to move this a little bit to this support, so like a buy to sell scenarios to the 1.3000 to the downside on GBP USD. Okay, so we are very much bearish. We are very much bearish on GBP USD. The last but not the least, USD JPY.
A little tussle, okay, a little tussle on this daily area of interest, looking left. Okay, so this looks almost like a very good trade for us. Price, if this actually closed as a bullish engulfing candle, it would have been better. So you can just put your stops here. All right, you can just put your stops here. Target your face 1:2, 1:3. You can do your 1:2, 1:3, which is 1555. Then you can go all the way to the 157. Okay, which is all the way to the upsides there. Okay,
so for USD JPY, you can see how we also predicted USD JPY into precision. I sent out this trade call 2 weeks ago, so we have been on 2 weeks bullishness on USD JPY. Okay, I told you guys that this trade looks quite good on USD JPY, looking at how price was bouncing off this other zone. Okay, these areas of interest, and we saw price flying from that zones. Okay, so this was a very nice trade call from us, and a lot of people, a very nice one is to 6+. Okay, on this trade, you see the entries and the exits. Okay, I also called this trade live for you guys, and you guys were able to see this, and a lot of people also made money from this. So let's look for the weekly time frame to see how price actually closed. So we can see the USD JPY has been on a massive bullishness for the longest, since April till date. Okay, and why is this so? This is most likely the same thing in which the DXY is also doing. So whatever directional bias that the DXY is giving us or would be trading towards, that is the same directional bias we should be looking forward for on USD JPY, USD CAD, USD CHF, and the rest. Okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour time frame to see if there are zones or levels we could mark out so that we could catch the next movement of our USD JPY. Okay, so I'm going to mark out new zones like so. All right, I'm going to mark out these new zones like so. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay, that's good. So all what I would love to see is price pull back into the 155 area, then continue, then a bullish continuations to the 157 to the upsides. Then we can even go as high as a 162. Okay, so all what I'm looking for is a sell to buy scenarios. Okay, so since the XY is still very much bullish, we are also looking for more bullish continuations on USD JPY. Okay, so that's it for this week, guys. Always remember to plan your trades and trade your plan. See you guys on the inner circle, and wishing you guys a profitable trading week ahead. Cheers.